What are some foods that most people have been eating the wrong way or not the way it was intended? I eat kiwis with the hairy skin on. My mom said I seemed to like it, so she wasn't going to stop me. Later on I find out that I'm a freak of nature for doing it. But I still eat it that way because I just like it. The only downside is that since I like the texture of the hair and skin, I have forbidden fruit moments when I'm looking at the abdomen of a tarantula. Yes officer, this comment right here. I can't find the delete button on that post. Am I just missing it? The previous time this question was asked, someone replied sucking the caviar straight out of the fish hunt, and I laughed myself straight into an asthma attack. Yes. That was recently. And it gave me a chance to tell one of my favorite stories, so I'm gonna paste it here again. Holy shit. I never thought I'd get a chance to tell this story. Was visiting friends out in LA a couple years ago. They are all excited to take me on a Grunan run, SB, because they live on Venice Beach. Apparently once a year these fish fire up onto the shore where the females lay eggs and the males fertilize them. The point of the run is to fish with your hands. Grab them out of the tide as it's taking them back to the ocean. We head out to the beach and the most knowledgeable fisherman in the group shows the rest of us what to do and nabs one. He puts pressure on its belly like popping a pimple and shows some of us it's full of fish eggs. Neat. Fresh caviar. We tell the rest of the group, who then also want to see. Fisherman grabs up another fish from the outgoing tide. Gathers the entire group. Goes to pop it open and bam. Nails himself in the face with fish jizz. He had picked up a male and gave himself a fish facial. The fish nutted right in his eye. So yeah. No matter how experienced a fisherman Derek says he is, leave caviar to the professionals and just eat it out of the damn tin like a civilized human. A man once sued a restaurant in Miami for serving him an artichoke which he promptly ate all of. I don't mean like he finished the artichoke, I mean that this guy, who apparently is a doctor, just ate the entire ducking thing, including all of the inedible parts. For those of you who have never encountered an artichoke, the edible part of the plant is a fleshy substance that is on the inside parts of the leaves. You scrape it off and eat that part and discard the leaves. The artichoke heart, at the middle of all of the leaves, is also edible and delicious. The stem and the fibrous leaves are not edible. Well, I guess except to this guy. I just realized artichoke isn't a ducking fish. My friend eats popcorn by picking the fluffy parts away from each piece and discarding the seed center. Every time I tell him he's an idiot, but he's too stubborn to just eat a damn piece of popcorn like a human. How long does it take him to eat like a whole bowl of mayo? Recently read where people were eating the ducking wax on Babybel cheeses and I haven't been the same since. Nuts should be cracked lengthwise, not on the sides, to avoid getting pieces of the shell mixed in with the nut meat. Nut meat. Up until a couple of years ago, 20 to currently, I thought you were supposed to bite the skin off the apple then eat it. If I didn't have a knife I would spend my time biting around the entire apple, spitting the skin out, then eating it. Edit, rind to skin. Lets you know how long I've been eating oranges and how long I've gone without an apple. Thank you. Hungered Root. Yep. This is the kind of WTF I was looking for. Ladies and gentlemen of Reddit, do whatever you'd like behind closed doors. But please remember, if you're eating a banana in public, it's banana to mouth, not mouth to banana. Hey, you can't try. All public eating should be performed mouth to food, mouth to lasagne, mouth to popcorn bag, mouth to communion wafer. There was a comment a long time ago from a guy who found out in adulthood that you aren't supposed to eat the cupcake wrappers when someone looked horrified when he ate it. When I was a kid I wouldn't eat them, but I loved chewing them. We didn't have many sweets. Some people eat donuts rather than giving them to me, which is what you're supposed to do with them. Line 4 apple fritters starts here. Guys, line right up. No pushing. I'll take them all. My dad believes steak should be well done. And by well done, unseasoned shoe leather. Growing up I never could fathom why anyone loved steaks, and why they were such an expensive treat at the house. My dad would buy these beautiful, thick cut ribeyes. Then toss them on the flaming grill with no seasoning. Cook them on one side for 7 minutes. Flip. Then other side. Till they had shrank half their size and were charred. Then he would berate us for using sauce because it covered up the flavor of the meat. No, Scott. Your inability to cook on a grill covers the flavor. It wasn't until I was 18 and living on my own that I tried to grill my own. Seasoned with garlic powder and salt. Flipped on the flaming grill often and buttered between flips. Taken off when I was tired of waiting. I had my first medium rare steak that melted in my mouth. I have never let my father cook me another steak since. Edit. Something I never thought I would say. RIP my inbox. I'm glad to see from all the comments, I am reading them all, that I'm not alone. Also, it's been over a decade since I started doing my own grilling. And I have gotten much better. More refined. Everyone loves their steaks a little different, but I have learned that most don't believe in well done. Edit 2. Thank you to whichever mysterious benefactor gave me silver. Also, I eat my steaks rare now. So pretty much grill. Flip. Butter. Remove. Butter. Rest. And eat before it scurries off my plate. I love how he went from dad to Scott as soon as he ducked up your steak. But I feel your pain. I grew up with both parents cooking the shit out of every form of meat. Here 306 Bomberfen. Eat this dry as roast with a side of plain boiled potatoes. The duck, you mean you want BBQ sauce? If you eat salmon to have a healthy meal, it's more beneficial to leave the skin on. Just fry it with some salt, pepper until it's crispy. It's the best part. My grandpa would peel a green apple using this nifty little device. Then salt it and put it on a stick and give it to me. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Kind stranger. Why does that sound so goddamn delicious? Okay. So this is more along the lines of me eating a certain dish the wrong way. But when I was little my mom would make French toast, except she would put chilies, onions and sometimes chicken on it. I grew up thinking French toast was a savory dish until I ordered it at a diner and it was sweet. I still like my mom's version of French toast better, tbh. Edit. Thanks so much for the silver. Savory French toast sounds amazing. You're supposed to wait for the pizza rolls to cool down before you put them in your mouth. Not after, while you're doing the dragon breath thing, trying not to let them touch your tongue. Edit. Cool. You role play with your pizza? That's taking love of pizza to an entirely new level. Not many people know, but you are supposed to remove the membrane that is on the bottom of a rack of ribs before you cook them. It makes them easier to cut and eat. And the satisfaction of taking it off in one rip. You have to devine shrimp. Or else you're eating their poop. I mean, you don't have to. It won't kill you. But it is poop. Ginger with sushi. You're actually supposed to eat the ginger slices between eating the rolls of sushi so as to cleanse the palate. Although, personally I love putting ginger and wasabi on my sushi roll then eating it in one bite. Edit. Thanks for the silver. Came here to say this. Also dipping nigiri in the soy sauce with the rice part. You dip the fish, not the rice. Corn on the cob. Once you reach the end of each row, you must make that old typewriter sounding and proceed to the next row. I eat it lathe style, not typewriter. Growing up I hated steak. My mom didn't want us having undercooked food. So steak was always well done. I was about 25 when I tried steak at a wedding that was cooked correctly. Now I love steak. I used to hate chicken for this reason. My mom would bake the hell out of it and it would be dry and rubbery. When I started cooking on my own, I went through a list of all the things I thought I didn't like and tried them again. I love you, mom. But you need to learn to use a meat thermometer. Not others, but I don't take Oreos apart and lick the frosting off first. I just bite into them like a savage. Wait, you bite them? I just throw the entire thing directly into my mouth and deal with the aftermath. My buddy's stepdad puts sugar in his ducking mac and cheese. Sometimes I think about it and I can't sleep. You know why restaurant food tastes good? Sugar, salt, butter, so much of each. Coffee. Right now, we are in the golden age of coffee. For thousands of years it tasted like a soaked ashes. If you have good beans, you can actually make a tasty cup without cream and sweetener. The first time I had coffee with my now wife, I told her I liked it black like my mother. She just gawked at me. Hey, my mom never put cream in her coffee and that's how I grew up drinking it. She thought I was telling her my mother was black or making a lame joke or something. Duck. It sounds worse every time I tell this story. People eat hot dogs from the wrong side all the time. Ducking morons. Yeah, you just bite it straight in the middle like a normal person. It's not traditional to eat Thai food with chopsticks. They use a fork and a tablespoon. Stop asking for chopsticks in Thai restaurants. I bet the amount of people in Thailand who give a shit about how Westerners consume Thai food is roughly equivalent to the amount of Westerners who give a shit how Thai people consume Western food. When you are cooking kale, add a tablespoon of coconut oil. This makes it much easier to scrape it into the trash. When I first ate edamame, I chewed up the entire pod and couldn't figure out why people enjoyed eating them. I did realize you're just supposed to eat the bean inside the pod. Not peas in a pod. Beans. Bibimbap is supposed to be mixed up then eaten. Not eaten individually. It's like a special rice dish that you mix yourself. Don't people normally mix it up? For me, it was crackers with any sort of topping until my wife showed me the error of my ways. I would always put cheese, or whatever spread I might be eating with the crackers on the top, that is. Salty side of the cracker. My wife lost her ever-loving mind when she saw me do this. She then proceeded to explain to me that I should turn the cracker over and put the spread, cheese, or whatever on the bottom so that the salty side would hit my tongue when I put the bite in my mouth. It was a revelation. Your pork chops and turkey are overcooked and not properly rested. That's why they are disgusting and dry. Look up dry and wet brining. Look up newer cooking temps. Cooking your turkey to 165 means it holds over to 170. And then you slice it immediately. And all the juices run out. Cook pork chops to medium and let them rest. Let all your cooked meat rest, good damn it. Edit. Many comments on sous vide and not needing to rest. I don't have one so I can't comment. But apparently it's not needed. But most people don't have a sous vide. Edit 2. Some good debate on resting or not. While I respect the Meathead Goldwyn articles posted, I use amazing ribs a lot. I have a hard time accepting one man's opinion as fact, as so many others say otherwise. And maybe he's right as far as losing juices. But his method does not allow for making pan sauces or someone else wanting to eat something other than that steak first. Resting allows you to accomplish a few other tasks first, some of which can't be completed until your steaks are out of the pan. Making his method give you a medium well or well done steak. If you want to pull your steak out of the heat and eat it right that second, then go ahead. But that's the only way that will work. Sauerkraut. At least for my Bavarian meal, take out of jar. Rinse lightly, don't remove all the flavor. Saute onions and carrots. Mix in kraut and broth. Simmer for an hour or so until it's tender. Eat with gravy. It's a side. Like mashed potatoes. Edit. Add gravy if it's with a meal with gravy. I was picturing a holiday meal like roast duck with kloss and kraut. With sausages. I wouldn't make gravy. Not a heavy gloppy gravy. A broth gravy. Also, forgot some fat in that sauteed onion. Bacon. Duck fat. It might have been said already, but I got tired of scrolling. I don't know if it's most, but I know it's fairly common to rinse off your pasta after you drain the water. Don't do that. Also, cooking the pasta until it sticks to a wall means you overcooked it. I've read plenty of ways to make your pasta better, but those two simple things are the only ones that really made any difference to me. Edit. Just spare my inbox a little. And I don't expect everybody to read every reply to this. I'm going to add that adding starchy water to the sauce and rinsing the pasta is good when it's cold or saved for later has been covered. To everyone who eats spaghetti with a little itty bitty smidge of sauce at the top with the rest completely dry and white, atone or be banged from cooking forever. We banged my mother from cooking after we were old enough to figure it out ourselves. Mostly over her spaghetti. She cooked a pound of noodles and then topped it with spaghetti sauce made from a dry packet and water. It made about a cup and a half of sauce and she expected it to be enough for the entire pound of pasta. When we complained that there wasn't enough, instead of making more sauce, she put a bottle of ketchup on the table. She is a terrible cook. Her pork chops could replace hockey pucks. People eat hamburgers upside down. Amen. Brother. The thicker side should be the one to deal with gravity. The bottom gets mushy.